Hey there, this is Matt once again, and welcome back to another review. One that at least one or two people asked me about. Lucy, starring Scarlett Johansson from around 2014, I believe. And I don't know what I feel about this movie. I probably disliked it more than liked it. I'll say I appreciate the fact it's so short. I didn't think it'd be such a short movie. I mean, with the end credits, it's like an hour and 29 minutes long. So you take out the end credits, it's like an hour and 22 minutes long. Like, this is a pretty short movie, 80 some minute. For some reason, I thought it'd be like a 2 hour movie or something. Number two, it's definitely batshit insane at times. Yeah, I mean, if you put logic into it, good luck with that. But I mean, it's sci-fi. If it's not realistic, yeah. One thing, I'm not the biggest Scarlett Johansson fan. She did all right in films like The Island, directed by Michael Bay. Black Widow, she's there, but it's not like, oh, I fucking want a Black Widow movie. I mean, she's honestly the Avenger I give a shit about the least, to be perfectly honest. I'm more a fan of Charlize Theron, Emily Blunt, yes, Sandra Bullock, among others. But I mean, Scarlett Johansson, I don't know. I mean, I look at this film and I go, okay, maybe if Emily Blunt or Charlize Theron were the star of it, maybe I would like it a bit more. But I don't know, Scarlett Johansson, yeah, just not big on her. And sometimes she seems like she'd be really fucking wooden and really fucking lifeless. I mean, there's another movie I'm going to review I saw her in Ghost in the Shell. I would say I like that movie a bit more than this one. Like Ghost in the Shell, I didn't mind. I'll get to why. But here, and yeah, Ghost in the Shell say, well, she's playing a robot, but there's a human brain inside. But I'm like, well, Ryan Gosling did that a lot better in Blade Runner 2049. But I don't hate Ghost in the Shell, that movie, which I'll get to next. But here, I thought they went too quick with her being so lifeless. The story, Scarlett Johansson, she's this girl who's with this asshole who does these things where he has a suitcase and goes to a meeting, drops it off. He tries to get her to go in for him. She's like, no, I don't want to do it. He tricks her ass, puts a handcuff suitcase to her, says, hey, you have to go in if you want that uncuffed. And hey, the money you get, we'll split it. She gets in. These guys grab her, scare the shit out of her. In the suitcase, there's this blue powder. She is knocked out. When she wakes up, her and a few others, they're going to be drug couriers, where the drugs in a packet put into their stomach, sewed up. And then for some reason, I forget how the fuck it led to this. She's in a room chained up, and they get her on the ground and kick her in the stomach. I don't remember how the fuck it led to that though. Like, okay, if either these people didn't know she had this in her stomach, and if they did, why the fuck would you kick it? I don't remember how the fuck it led up to that, but when she got kicked, some of it leaked out and went into her bloodstream. And then it's that whole notion of, oh, well, we only use 10% of our brains. What would happen if we use 20%, 30%, 50%, 80%, 100%? And like right when it happens, boom, she's no emotion, nothing. You would think, maybe make it a little bit more gradual. Of Like maybe she shows a little bit of emotion, then a little bit less, then a little bit less, and then when she's getting like 80, 90, then she shows no emotion. But I thought they went too quick on that, so it just made her like a fucking robot from that to the end. And I'm like, I think there should have been more of a progression of that for Scarlett Johansson's acting, if she could, if she can do that. I don't know. I've never seen anything she was in that made me think she was a great actress. At least nothing yet. But and there's some weird editing, like when they grab her, the weird editing. It'll cut to a cheetah chasing a gazelle. When these guards grab Scarlett Johansson, oh, because they're the cheetah and she's the gazelle. Yeah, but it was like, first off, I didn't need to see a real cheetah kill a real gazelle in your fucking movie. It's like that scene in the work print of Hard Target when Lance Henriksen's on the piano, and then cuts to real animals getting hunted. That I can see why that was cut out for the theatrical cut. Like that's a scene I don't need. Same thing here. I thought that was a weird, stupid editing choice that you didn't need. You didn't. I don't need to visualize them as the cheetah and her as the gazelle. Just get to your fucking movie, man. And it's directed by Luc Besson. And Luc Besson, I don't mind Leon the Professional. I'm not huge on it, but you know, it's okay. I would put it above this. I really love The Fifth Element. I didn't see his one, Valerians, what the fuck it was called. I didn't see that. Really, the only ones of Luc Besson that he directed that I've seen is this, The Fifth Element, which I think is his best one, and Leon the Professional. And you also have Morgan Freeman, who's this guy who teaches his class about what would happen if we could use 20% of our brain, and just giving lectures. And so when Scarlett Johansson's getting smarter, she contacts Morgan Freeman, makes him a believer, says, I'm going to see you in like 12 hours. I'm going to get the rest of these drugs because I need them. And then she, like, at 20%, she can fight perfectly, she can shoot perfectly. And I'm like, okay, I know this is not supposed to be realistic, but just because you're smarter, don't you have to be. Does that mean you're capable of absorbing more information? Don't you still have to be taught this stuff? Like, don't you still have to be taught how to shoot? But then you can learn it much quicker and faster, and then you can be better. Like, she goes into a hospital and she sees these Asian signs, and all of a sudden she can read them. And again, I'm like, well, wouldn't it work better if, okay, it means she can comprehend knowledge at a faster rate, at a better rate? Wouldn't that help more with your plot and your story and making a little bit more sense for people? But that's probably just me. It just seems like a lady who got a fucking cheat code. That's really what the movie is. She, she got the game genie or the game shard. She just inputted the cheat code that said God mode. And so there's not really any suspense for her character because she can do anything. She can do everything. So where's the suspense and where's the. It made me think of like a the Lawnmower Man. Only she's not the villain. I would say I like the Lawnmower Man more than this. I mean, this is better than Lawnmower Man 2 Beyond Cyberspace. If that's any praise. But Lawnmower Man, here's someone, they got knowledge, and then they got smarter, and as they got smarter, they got these powers. That's what it reminded me of. But again, I like Lawnmower Man more than this. But it's like a cheat code. Oh, she can shoot perfectly. She can fight. She can read any language. It's not taught or read a manual. Even fucking Short Circuit with Johnny Five. What do? He read a book. He watched TV, and then he can just process it faster. Okay, now this is how I can talk. It wasn't just zapped by lightning and then all of a sudden, hey, I know everything. Like even in your bullshit, you gotta have a little bit of points in your bullshit to make some of the audience like me swallow it better. You have a bunch of bullshit. If you give me some butter or some flavor that doesn't taste just like shit, then maybe it'll make it easier to swallow. So there's a moment she calls her mom. She goes to his doctors, gets the fixes her up on her stomach, goes to this bad guy's place, shoots through the door, stabs this guy's hands. There's some interesting effect sequences, I'll give you that. Like when the drugs went through her bloodstream, and it's like this light show of fireworks going in and all out of her cells and bloodstream. So there's some nice visuals there. Or when she touches this guy's brain and it goes in and it goes through all over the room, which again, I'm like, well, wait a minute. How does looking at it as his brain make you know what the hell other people were looking at? You know what I mean? Like, okay, if you go into my brain, I know what he's thinking, what I was thinking, what I was seeing, my point of view, my POV. But she looks at this guy's brain, but then she can see what this guy was looking at, what this guy was looking at, what this guy was looking at. Stuff this guy you're touching wouldn't know shit about. So how the hell does that work? Again, it's like cheat code activated. Do whatever the fuck you want. That's what I mean. When you have no rules, this movie has no rules, and it's just like just to a point where I just stopped giving a fuck. So she can control like as she's building up, she can control TV, phone, radio to talk to Morgan Freeman. She talks about how she doesn't feel pain or desire or fear. Sometimes I'm like, is she a fucking robot or is she a fucking human? But again, it's like I thought the change was just too quick to her being no emotion. They should have been much more of a gradual build up of that. To slowly see her humanity disappear and overcome with this just full knowledge. Not right at 20%. And maybe at 50%, then she starts really, like, you really notice. And before that, you slowly notice. And again, that's just my feeling. And just like, apparently, if your brain has a higher percentage of intellect, you could just change your hair color, how long the hair is. I'm like, well, fuck, if that's the case, just change your face. If you can change your hair and the color of it, can you just, well, change the muscle tissue? There's even a moment later on where she's like talking to Morgan Freeman and her hands go from like long to like webbed. So why doesn't she just change how she looks? The muscles of her face and change. Now she looks like I don't know, whoever other actress you want to put in there. The stuff she needs more because like she's on this airplane, her teeth falling out, her fingers are like fading as if she's dust in the wind. She eats more of the blue stuff from the Blue Man group and is able to get a little bit better. Then this weird like fade of light where she wakes up on the ground in a hospital. She had contacted this a cop in was it Paris or something? Oh, I forget where. And the cop has a gun on her, and she makes everyone else fall to the ground and takes the bullets out of his gun. And again, there's a nice visual moments. Like she can literally see the phone signals. So she takes it and stretches it and is able to pinpoint that actual phone signal to listen in on it. There's some nice visual touches. And the movie is short enough that it went at a pace that made me go, okay, well, what's going to happen next? What other nice visual moment is there going to be? And then the way she taps into that phone was visually interesting. She needs to get to Morgan Freeman's, no, not Morgan, to the hospital where these other guys have the drugs at because she needs those extra drugs. Drives in this one-way street. You have some car crashes of police cars. They get to the hospital. She just lifts guys away, throws one into a wall, grabs the drugs. And even the cop is like, well, why do you need me here? And then she kisses him on the lips and goes, as a reminder. And I guess as a reminder for being a human being or something, but you really did not need the cop in this. Like, the cop is pretty much pointless. You really did not need this guy in the movie. And it's not like he was that interesting of an actor or character anyway. And then what? They're at Morgan Freeman, and she's changing her hands in front of Freeman. They put the rest of the drugs in her. The bad guys come. The cop and his fellow cops. There's a shootout. Pretty boring shootout. Nothing to it. Visual wise, anything wise. It was just, oh, we need some gunplay. Which I'm down for gunplay, but make it fun. Make it intriguing. Make me give a shit. And then you have stupid stuff like, but when she takes all the drugs, she's puking light. Fuck, when I mentioned puking day glow, I didn't mean literally, but she's like puking rainbow light. As if she saw the fucking ending of brain damage. It's like, well, from the top of my head, just go from my mouth. Like, did someone see the ending of brain damage? And fucking steal from that? And then this stuff's growing out of her. She like creates this white room. She like goes to parts of the country, like Paris, to the countryside, to New York. Then she goes back in time. See, she touches the first cave person, which was the first scene we saw was a cave person. I think that's supposed to be Lucy because someone at the beginning says the first ever woman was named Lucy. So I guess this is Lucy that Scarlett's Lucy is touching. It really is, and from what I understand, Luc Besson wanted to do a little bit of 2001: A Space Odyssey, which that's a better movie. So I guess that's this batshit insane stuff is for that. And then she goes like into space and the creation of the Earth and further out, and visually it was cool. But I just don't give a fuck at this point. This is more of a rant. I'm not. I'll never see this film again. I'll never. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this movie. And for some reason, the bad guy has to do one of those things where he literally has to walk up until he's right behind her. I'm like, why don't you shoot her from 2 feet away, 3 feet away, 5 feet away, 10 feet away? You can empty the whole clip. Boom, 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 boom. No, he literally has to walk slowly until he's right here. Of course, giving her enough time. So, boop, she's gone, and then he fires. Because the bad guy's a fucking moron. You know, guns are not knives, bad guy. Although even knives you can throw. But, you, you don't have to be this far away to shoot a gun. You do know that, Mr. Bad Guy. Mr. Villain. You don't have to be this close to someone to shoot them. You do know this, right? You realize this? Bullets can travel decently far. I can bet money on it. You don't have to be this close. But the bad guy's stupid. So he gets this close. She's gone as he fires, so he misses her. And then the cop shoots the bad guy. And then, kind of like the ending of Lawnmower Man, except she's not a villain. What happened at the ending of Lawnmower Man? You have phones ringing. Here, the cop's phone ringing, and she goes, "I'm everywhere." Then the movie ends. Now, this movie made a shitload of money, and it did not deserve it. Fuck, I mean, the next film I'll talk about with Scarlett Johansson, Ghost in the Shell, I liked it okay. I didn't love it 10 out of 10, but I thought that was a much better movie than this, and that film bombed. Like, this movie made more money than Blade Runner 2049. This movie made more money than Dread. This money making movie. Why did it make so much money? I don't get it. It was because of Scarlett Johansson. Obviously, they didn't lead to Ghost in the Shell. I don't know why this made so much money. And it's watching it, other than some visually interesting, the drugs go into her body and cells, the light show, the batshit insane finale, the, going from back in time to the outskirts of space, uh, tapping to the phone in an interesting visual level. Other than that, what does the movie have going for it? Scarlett Johansson didn't impress me that much. The other Morgan Freeman is cool because he's Morgan Freeman. Although I'd probably still rather watch this than that fucking movie Transcendence. Well, Transcendence with Johnny Depp, because at least this movie's 80 some minutes long. And that movie feels like 3 fucking hours long. But Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, I don't know what the fuck to say. Not much a fan of this movie. I think I had to really talk it out to maybe go, yeah, I'm not much a fan of this movie. I don't think it's that much of a flick. I really don't. People disagree with me. That's fine. You can disagree. Yeah, I thought this movie sucked. Now that I think about it, it was short. Some nice visual moments, but it was an overrated movie. I'll say that. Was not impressed by this movie. The next movie, Ghost in the Shell, I didn't mind. This one though, yeah, I have no reason to see this movie again. So thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you later. Bye bye.